You know, Coach, the first thing we got to talk about is kind of the marquee matchup of Jahlil Okafor and Kristaps. What do you think of the way he handled that? And he said that he adjusted in the second half and started fronting him a little bit. Did you like what he was able to do against him?
I do. I think early on, you could see that physically, Jahlil's a bigger, stronger player. But as the game went on, I thought that Kristaps made the adjustment and used his activity level and his length. And, I thought he impacted him as the game went on.
What's your approach with him in terms of how much you're coaching him up or letting him sort of figure these things out on his own as we go?
Yeah, I think it's important for players to learn a lot of things themselves. We try and give them enough information to then be able to just go out and kind of trust the instincts and the things that they've worked on. And that might lead to some struggles, in the summer league or even during the season at times. But I think it raises the level of accountability within the player himself. And, it's just part of my belief system.
Now we're 3 games into this, 3 wins for your team. How would you assess the squad so far?
Well, they're doing okay. You can't expect a lot. You basically practice for 2.5 days, and then you start playing these games, and they start coming pretty fast and heavy after the first couple days. So I think they're doing a good job of just figuring it out. It's not pretty, but they're just kind of figuring out how to be gritty and win games.
What does Maurice Ingram have to do to make your team?
I don't know if there's any more he can do. I think he's doing everything that at least is in his control, to be a guy that, whether it's our team, and hopefully so, but, the 29 other teams, he's for sure giving teams a look that he could probably play at this level and be pretty good at it.
Surprised by how well he scored the ball today?
Not necessarily. Like I said yesterday, he showed the ability to shoot the ball the way he is when we worked him out in pre-draft workouts and, our scouts when they scouted him in school. And the things he's doing as far as his activity and his length, blocking shots, using those long arms to be active out there. These are all things we thought he could do, but you don't know until the guys are out there. And, he's proven most of the people right that he can play.
What about Grant is the other guy who's kind of really seemed to find a groove out there. He works in transition. His vision seems to open things up for you guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. We really enjoy having his playmaking ability out there, his vision, and his comfort level with handling the basketball. That was one of the things that really excited us when we saw we'd have an opportunity to draft him at the number we did because of that ability. To play the guard in our system, both guards have to be able to make plays. And Jaren gives us a little bit of versatility in that way where he and Langston can play together. Jaren can play with Jose. A lot of different combinations of guys we can put out there on the floor together.
And he can step in pretty much right away? You think he can get minutes quickly?
Well, we hope so. I think, as you see, there's still a lot for him to learn, taking care of the basketball, valuing possessions, defensively understanding personnel and what guys' strengths are. But, you don't draft guys that high in the first round without thinking that they could probably help you quickly. And it's our job to develop them over the summer and in the preseason to make sure that happens.
I apologize if you asked about this before, but what's your take on, he kind of had the ball there in the trailing position where it looked like he was ready to take a shot from far out. Do you want him to be patient with that sort of thing? You were saying yesterday that you like for kind of a secondary transition for him to be there. Do you want him to take that sort of shot?
Yeah, no, I think he'll be able to walk into some of those trail threes as time goes on. We're just exploring playing that way, here in the summer, and we're hoping it's something we can do as the season comes along, where we can kind of use our bigs as trail bigs. A lot of teams do it, but this guy's ability to shoot the ball from that distance, we think will give us an added look offensively when he's in that trail position.
What did you think out of him towards football? It seems really he has a lot of reverse, a bit right at the rim. It seems like he's got a good set of feet under him.
Yeah, he's an agile player. We love the versatility that he brings to a team. That's why we were excited to try and get him out here to see what he could do. And he's proven the things that we thought he might be able to do pretty right in terms of versatility, guarding multiple guys, being able to catch and shoot the basketball, and then using those long arms on the defensive end to create a lot of havoc out there. And we for sure don't win this game without him today.
Derek, what did you think of Kristaps down the stretch, especially defensively, with a couple of those big blocks and over?
Yeah, I mean, he loves to compete. You know, that's why we're excited about the potential that he has. You know, he loves to compete. A lot of young guys don't love the game and playing and competing and mixing it up the way he does. And I don't think he really thinks about his frame as a disadvantage. He's willing to get down and dirty. And I think he showed that tonight. He stood right up to Okafor and played him. And statistically, you know, Okafor won the game, but, you know, Kristaps' team won. And that's really what the major stat that tells you the difference between guys is, you know, which teams win the game.
Would you like to see Nador in the training camp, veterans training camp? Do you think that's a chance, a real chance?
I mean, he's doing everything that he can do to make it happen. You know, I think we'll obviously have to talk about that as Summer League winds down and we kind of see where our roster is meeting out with how many guys we actually have under contract. You know, we had that issue last year where we had 15 guys and then we decided, you know, we like Travis Ware and we made a move. But, you know, depends on what it looks like. If we have 13 or 14 guys already, that's something we can do. But, you know, Phil and Steve and Allen will kind of talk about that and figure that out. But I think Maurice is doing what players are supposed to do, and that's focus on the part that they can't control, and that's performing well. If we don't do it, somebody will, the way he's playing.
Is it difficult to identify certain players? Is it difficult to identify what they're able to do in a setting where they're the main creator, the main scorer, and necessarily don't do a whole lot to create shots for other people, but score on their own? Given that they're not playing with Melo right now, they're not playing with the other guys that are going to be on the roster. Is it difficult to try to make sense of whether they can fit in?
No, I mean, it depends. I think on the player. I think there are some guys in the summer and maybe even in the preseason when they get extended minutes, they show you that they have the potential to maybe play a bigger role as they mature, as the roles on the team are kind of defined more. But it's also important to see guys, even in the summer league or preseason, that can be a part of a group that aren't so thirsty to do their thing that they can't fit into what the team is trying to do. I think those guys stand out more than the guys that show that they can really play. The guys that look like they're trying too hard to prove to everybody what they can do, those are the guys that don't necessarily end up putting themselves in the best position.